Hello, my little yarnivores, Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial for you. Now today I'm going to show you the granite stitch, and this is so very awesome in the way of stash busting, and I decided to try it with a scarf and a lot of my random little tidbits of yarn, and this is absolutely fabulous because you have this interlocking look going on here. Now, you actually do the stitch lengthwise, but you just keep going along, and then you can even create some really funky tassels. Typically, I don't like tassels on my scarf, but this was a great way of dealing with the ends because as you're going back and forth and back and forth, every row you change color. So this is a way of dealing with the ends, and I'll show you how to do this as well. You could either do it this way, or you can crochet over the ends as you go, or you can sew them in later. But I'm going to show you how to do this in case if you want to. To each their own, as I always say. So, without further ado, what you're going to need is, obviously, a pair of skizzers, duh. And also, let me see, do I have my hook handy? Yes. For this project, am using a size K crochet hook. Typically, I would use a size I for worsted weight yarn, but I felt that this is a somewhat dense stitch, so I decided to go a little bit bigger. Again, totally up to you, whatever works, right? And so let's get to it. Okay, back in a flash. Okie dokie. So now, if you want to create a scarf or a blanket for that matter with those tassels, you are going to want a really long tail. However, for this tutorial, I'm just going to show you a swatch. I'm going to show you how to do the tails on the scarf that I showed you before, because on half of it, I didn't do the tails. So, like I said, you are going to want a really, really long tail because you're going to be doing chain stitches, and that eats up your yarn. So I would suggest approximately 2 feet, just to be on the safe side, because you can always cut more off. You can't add more on. So that being said, leave a long tail. All right, and then what you're going to want to do is start with, of course, your obligatory slip knot. And this is so easy. Disturbingly so. It is just so easy. You just need an even number of stitches. So for this tutorial, I'm going to do a swatch of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Now, for the scarf, you can make it as long as you want. It just has to be an even number of stitches. The piece that I did, I used, I think it was 200 chains. And for me, it wasn't long enough. I typically like my scarves to be about 7 feet long. It wasn't near that. So next time, I would rather go longer than shorter. So I would probably do 300. Again, it's totally up to you. Fiddle with it a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet into the first chain there. Well, second chain from the hook. So it's 1, 2. So we're doing a single crochet, and then we chain 1. Okay. And then we skip a chain, and we go and we do a single crochet into the next stitch. So we have a little opening here. Then we chain 1, skip a chain, go into the next with a single crochet, chain 1, skip a chain, go into the next with a single crochet stitch, chain 1, skip a chain, go into the next with a single crochet. Super easy. Chain 1, skip a chain, go into the next with a single crochet. It's really, really quite easy. Now, this is the end of the first row. May not look like much, but we will get there. Now, because we're going to want to change colors, what I like to do is, again, when you reach the end, you're going to want a really, really long tail. But for my purposes, I don't need a really long tail. So I'm just going to snip right there. Then we're going to change colors. And I'm going to come in with a nice sort of yellowy color. Now you can be as coordinated as you want with your colors, or you can get really fun and funky using up your scrap bits. So because we're going to change colors, I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to put my hook back in through my loops, and we're going to finish this single crochet stitch with our new yarn. All right, and okay, that is my tail. And so we've got our other tail, and we finish up the single crochet stitch with the new yarn. And of course, you're going to want, your two tail ends to be the same length. Again, I would say a good safe bet about 2 feet. All right, so we finish that up, and then we chain one. Okay, now because we ended the last row with a single crochet, well, actually, this is the beginning of every row. You start with a single crochet, a chain one, a single crochet. Now we have this space here, and we're going to do a single crochet into that space, chain one, and then here is our single crochet, and here's the space. So we go into that space, not the stitch, into the space with a single crochet. All right, and then we chain one, and then we find the next, the next chain one space. We go into there with a single crochet, chain one, go into the next space with a single crochet, chain one, go into the next space with a single crochet, and then into this last single crochet stitch, we do a single crochet. And just like before, we don't finish that actual stitch. We keep both loops on the hook. We grab a new ball of yarn, and we finish up that stitch with our new yarn. Again, making your tails the same length. All right, we chain one. Okie dokie. And then into the first stitch, we do a single crochet. And because we have a single crochet stitch here, we chain one, go into the chain one space here with a single crochet, chain one, go into the next space underneath here with a single crochet. This is really one of those great patterns if you want something that looks complicated, but it really isn't, because you just chain one and do a single crochet into the next chain one space. And it's a 2-row repeat, which makes it very, very simple to remember. You just chain one, single crochet into the chain one space, and chain one, and did I mess up here? No? Yes? What did I do here? Do. No, I did that right. Okay. See? Even I check myself from time to time. Chain one, and you skip over that space, and you do a single crochet into the very last one. Ta-da! And sometimes you have to pull your ends there a little. Okay. Sorry for that little delay there. Okay. And basically, you just keep doing the same thing over and over. So what it amounts to is when you start off, you do a single crochet, chain one, and then you end off with a single crochet at the very end. Then when you're continuing along, you have to uh, do a single crochet and then another single crochet. I mean, does this make sense? I hope it does. See, this row that I just did is the beginning row because this is the third row. It's A, B, A, B, A, B. So the thing is that, all right, I'm not going to change colors. No, I will. Just for you, I'm going to change colors. I know, I'm a bit of a mess at times, but I do love what I do because I'm doing it for you guys, so it's totally worth it. I'm a little discombobulated, I guess, but I'm human, right? So it's basically flip-flopping back and forth, back and forth. When you change your colors and chain one, always into the first one, you do a single crochet. And because there is a chain one space there, you have to go into it. Chain one, go over that single crochet, chain one, sorry, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one. Actually, no chain one, and single crochet. See, on this row, you start with 2 single crochets in a row and you end with 2 single crochets in a row. And then on the next row, it's a single crochet, a chain one, a single crochet, a chain one. So basically you alternate back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth between the 2 rows, and there you go. Easy peasy. Now for the tails, I'm going to show you what to do. Let me grab my example. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So now on my other side, we have all of these tails, and yes, they are quite long. And so what you want to do is you want to pair off your tails in 2s. So as an example, I'm going to grab these 2 right here. These 2 are black, so they're hard to see, so I'm going to let them alone. And so you get 2 of your tails, and then quite simply, what I did on the other side is I just knot them together, like so. Ta-da! Really simple. And then you take your hook and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chain stitch these 2 together with my hook. So I'm going to go in underneath here and I'm going to grab my 2 tails there, and then I'm going to chain up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then I pull out the tail. Now, because I'm afraid that it may come undone, what I did also on the other side is I then take these 2 tails and I then make a knot, just sort of scooching my tail ends through like so. And then I make a knot at the very tip, or as close to the tip here as I can. And then once all of your tassels, your fringe is done, and everything is all knotted, then you cut these ends. I would suggest, I would say, maybe about, half an inch to an inch after you knot it. And you only cut them after they are all done. Again, you can cut more off, but you can't add more on. I can't stress that enough. And that's how I did my little fringe tassels, if you will. And I think it looks really funky. It looks really neat. And it's, as I said, this is a great way of using up those random balls of yarn that you don't know what to do with. And as a result, you know, you don't want to necessarily put it into a whole project, but hey, you can make a whole project out of what you don't know what to do with. So anyway, listen, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I love doing this stuff for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate. I love hearing from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because I have new stuff coming out as often as I can make it, and I love doing it for you guys. And so until next time, stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.